Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're gonna do a 30-minute full body workout that you can do in an apartment, in a small space. There's no jumping involved, so you're not gonna disturb any of your neighbors and you don't need any equipment. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me on Instagram and make sure you tag me in your stories. Take a picture of yourself after the workout. I love seeing your faces in my story mentions and I love reposting you guys on Instagram. So make sure you go follow me there. Make sure that you can see your screen so you can follow along with me. And without further ado, let's get to it. All right, today we're gonna work in exercises in sets of 2. So your first exercise is gonna be a squat, but you're gonna hold for a hot second at the bottom and then come up. So when you're coming down to your squat, make sure you're in this nice 90-degree position, hold and up. When you come up, you're not hinging your hips here at the top. You're keeping tension on the glutes, body's angled slightly forward. So down, hold, and up. Good, taking a 15-second rest. All of our exercises today are 45 seconds on with a 15-second rest. Your second exercise is some ankle taps. So you're reaching for your ankles or you're reaching for the insides of your feet. You're gonna try and keep the pace high, staying light on those toes, and you're gonna think about your core as you're doing this. We're staying light on those toes because we're not disturbing our downstairs neighbors. Nice work. We're repeating those 2 before we move on. So going back to our squat with a hold and coming up. When you're coming down in your squat, remember not to let the knees cave inward. Keep them pressed to the outsides of your feet. Good. Last round of our ankle taps. Make sure you're really reaching for those toes. Exhaling, so you're engaging that core. Good work. Moving on to our next set of 2 exercises. Your first exercise is a reverse lunge, kind of mimicking what we did with our squat and a hold. You're gonna come down into your lunge. Make sure you hit this position. Hold for a hot second. Press through that supporting leg. Switching feet. Nice job. Second exercise, you're gonna do a rise up on your tippy toes, fingertips come up, and then coming down, hinging at the hips, reaching for opposite toes. Up and over. Here we go. Think about those abs as you come down. Try to hold this squeeze at the top. So find your balance here. Nice job doing those reverse lunges again. When you're down in your lunge, first of all, knee is not coming too far over the toes, making sure we're planted firmly in this heel. And you're not sitting way back here with your upper body, leaning slightly forward. So the tension and the hinge point is that glute, and pressing through the supporting leg, using that glute to stand up. Nice job. Next up is our up and overs. Really think about this squeeze here at the top. Think about closing this rib cage so your core is engaged. You're finding this position, squeezing and holding, and then controlling, lowering down. Nice job. All right, next set of 2 exercises. You're gonna do a squat. I promise, I think this is the last squat sequence of the workout. You're gonna come down into a squat. Then from here, you're gonna squeeze the inner thighs together and bring the feet together, stepping it out into a squat, 90 degree all the way down, squeeze the inner thighs. Good. Second exercise, come to one end of your mat. You're gonna walk yourself out into a high plank. Make sure you're hitting this position where you're in a straight line, booty is not up in the air. Then from here, step the knees into the elbows, step them out, and walk back up. Rise up on the tippy toes, walk it out, step it in, and out. Try to keep a nice flat back as you step those toes in towards your elbows. Repeating those 2 again, starting with our squats and our side squeeze. Really think mind to muscle. Think about those inner thighs. Think that somebody is pressing those thighs apart and you're feeling that resistance as you bring the foot in. Nice work. Last round of plank walkouts. Here we go, nice flat plank. Nice work. Let's come back on our backs. Next up, we're gonna do a single leg glute bridge. So we're gonna do one side for the first round, and then the second round we'll do the other side. So, leg is bent. You could also keep the leg straight, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Thinking about this supporting leg, sitting into that heel, pressing up, pressing those hips as high as you can to the sky. Remember to keep these controlled. Try and really hold that squeeze for a little bit at the top and control on the way down. Good, we're gonna stay back here on our backs. Next up, you're gonna do an elbow to knee crunch. Either beginners, so you can do elbow to knee crunches like this, placing the feet down in between, or heels are just gonna touch the floor and you're gonna switch, 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 keeping those shoulder blades up off the floor. Make sure that lower back is pressed into the floor. Lower abs are engaged here. Neck is nice and long. Nice job. Take a 15-second breather. We're gonna switch legs for those single leg glute bridges next. So if you had your right leg raised, you're gonna switch and have your left leg raised. So pressing into this supporting heel and pressing your hips as high as they can go, holding that squeeze for as long as possible, just tapping the booty to the floor and send it back up. Good, taking a 15-second breather, going right back into those elbow to knee crunches.
Outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our ability.
Nice job. We're gonna flip it over. Moving on, we're gonna do some push-ups next. You can do these push-ups on your toes, you can do these on your knees. Beginners, if you cannot do a push-up, you're gonna do a half push-up. So you're gonna be on your knees, slowly lowering yourself down as slow as possible, trying to hold this hover here as long as you can, then drop the belly to the floor, hands come up, and then press yourself back up. Good, second exercise, flip it over onto your back. We're gonna do some leg drops. Beginners, your legs are gonna be bent, low backs pressed to the floor, dropping the heels, bringing them up. Low back should not leave the floor. If you want to make this a little bit more difficult, extending the legs nice and straight, you can hold a crunch position, drop and lift, or just remove the crunch, drop and lift. Either way, everyone's lower backs should be on the floor. If your lower back is popping off the floor, you are going to shorten your range of movement and only drop your legs to where you can keep your low back on the floor. Good, 15 seconds, flipping it back over for some more push-ups. If you feel like you can't go the full 45 seconds and you're doing push-ups on your toes, go down to your knees. If you're doing push-ups on your knees, doing those half push-ups are great. Lowering yourself down, this is a great way to practice to getting a push-up, doing negatives, lowering yourself as slow as possible, and then just trying to hold here as long as you can, letting yourself go, and then just pushing yourself back up. Good work on your back. Leg drops, round 2. So before you move, legs are up, low back should be pressed to the floor, low abs are already engaged. Before you even start. Good work. All right, we're gonna stay down here on the ground. You're gonna choose a side. On your forearm, make sure your elbow and shoulder are stacked. Legs are bent, hand is on the hip. You're gonna come up doing a clamshell, opening up this knee and coming down. So we're focusing on keeping this side nice and tight and pressing this hip as high as we can to the ceiling. Good, flip it over into tabletop. So we were squeezing that left cheek. We're gonna continue to squeeze that left cheek. You're gonna extend the left leg. So whatever leg you were laying on is the leg you're gonna use. It's nice and straight. You're gonna pulse it. 2, 3. Bring the knee to your chest. Exhale and crunch. Extend. When your leg is extended and you're pulsing, make sure you're not arching the lower back here. You're keeping the core tight. Good. Flipping it over to the other side. Press this hip up as high as you can go. Squeeze that side. Almost there. Good, flip it over into tabletop. Using that same leg. So core is nice and tight here, nice neutral spine, squeezing that glute, pulsing 3 times, and bringing it in. Whew. Nice job. All right, we're gonna flip it over onto our bumps. We're gonna be in a reverse bridge position. You're going to press the hips up to the sky. Then from here, shifting your weight, lifting one leg at a time while keeping the hips pressed. When you lift your leg, your bum should not drop. If it's dropping, you're just gonna lift and hold and lower. Lift and hold and lower. Good. You're gonna come back onto your elbows. You're going to have the legs bent. Then from here, you're going to extend, open the toes, bring them back together, and bring them in. You can also modify this by just extending. And if this is still too much, you can extend the legs up a little bit higher, relieve some of the tension off the low abs. Good, getting ready to do those exercises again. So in our reverse bridge position. Here we go, press those hips up and keep them there. Job getting ready for our last ab exercise. If you're finding that this is putting any pressure on your lower back, I want you to lift your pelvis up and tuck the bum under, so you're rotating the pelvis, then place the bum back down, then lift the legs. Nice job. All right, we have a 2-minute burnout. We're gonna do a couple variations of plank, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds the other plank. We're gonna swap it. So, first 30 seconds is in a low plank, and we're just gonna hold. So making sure that our bums are not up in the air, we're not cheating this. Keeping the bums down, keeping the core engaged. Good, your next 30 seconds are going to be in a high plank. So on your hands, option to just hold here, option to step the feet in, or lifting the toes, doing some slow mountain climbers. Good, we're gonna do that again, and then we're done. So coming to a low plank and holding. Just breathe. If you need to, you can drop down to your knees in this plank. Good. Shake the arms out, last 30 seconds. Up in a high plank. Whew. Ta-da! That was it, guys. Great job. I hope you enjoyed this 30-minute full body workout that you can do in a small space. If you did and you want to see more of this style of video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss another video from me, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.